This is a guide on how to use the chain breaker tool from Studica Robotics. Let's go over the parts of the chain breaker and what comes in the kit. We have the cut point, which holds the chain in place when breaking chain or to reseat a bearing pin, the mandrel, which drives the bearing pin from the chain, and the M4 socket head cap screw, which acts as a stop to prevent bearing pins from coming out. The chain breaker tool also comes with a 4mm hex Allen key to turn the mandrel and cut point, and a 3mm hex Allen key for the M4 socket head cap screw. To use the chain breaker tool, you will also need number 25 chain, and depending on how you are breaking your chain, you will need a master link, which comes with the number 25 chain, and a pair of needle nose pliers. As said previously, there are two ways to break a chain, one using a master link and one without. Let's first go over how to use a master link. First, make sure the channel of the chain breaker is clear to mount the chain. Use the M4 hex Allen key to unscrew the mandrel and cut point if they are in the way. Since the bearing pin will be removed completely, we can remove the M4 screw using the 3mm hex Allen key. Align the chain along the chain breaker so that the link we wish to break is below the mandrel. Then, screw the cut point using the 4mm hex Allen key to press it tight against the chain to prevent it from shifting as we're driving the bearing pin out. Once the chain is secured to the chain breaker tool, use the 4mm hex Allen key to drive the mandrel into the bearing pin. You'll feel a significant resistance at first, like you can't turn the mandrel any further. Use the longer arm of the Allen key to provide maximum torque and continue turning the Allen key. The bearing pin will eventually give way and it will be much easier. Once the bearing pin is driven out, turn the Allen key counterclockwise to pull the mandrel from the chain link assembly, and do the same for the cut point to release the chain from the chain breaker's channel. The chain then can be removed from the chain breaker. To form our chain loop, insert the master link pins through both ends of the chain to form a loop. Then, place the spacer onto the pins so it is flush with the inner chain. The grooves of the pin should be exposed so that we can slide the retaining clip onto the pins. To secure the clip onto the pins, place the wider opening with the closed end of the clip onto one of the pins. Then, take a pair of needle nose pliers and clamp between the closed end of the clip and the pin closest to it until you hear a click. Once that is done, the clip is secured to both pins and the loop is formed. To break chain without a master link, make sure the M4 screw is screwed into the chain breaker to prevent the bearing pin from being fully ejected. Follow the same steps as we did previously, making sure the channel of the chain breaker is clear of the mandrel or cut point to mount the number 25 chain. Once again, mount the chain onto the chain breaker and secure it with the cut point. This time, as you drive the mandrel into the bearing pin through the chain link, make sure you drive the bearing pin out of the inner chain, but still seated into the outer plate. It's good to regularly check by pulling the mandrel out and trying to separate the chain. You should eventually be able to separate the chains while keeping the bearing pin seated as shown. To reinsert the pin into the chain link, unscrew the cut point so that the bearing pin can rest into the channel. Then align the inner chain end between the two outer plates and screw the mandrel so that it is flat against the chain to prevent it from moving while reseating the pin. Then, screw the cut point into the bearing pin until it is seated into the chain link and the cut point is flat against the chain. Then, unscrew the cut point and mandrel to remove the chain from the chain breaker. You have now learned how to properly use the chain breaker tool by Studica Robotics.